We keep on moving, we keep on moving along, we keep on rolling. No, we ain't slowing it down. We ain't slowing down. We keep on moving along, we keep on rolling. Yeah. No, we ain't slowing it down. Let's go. We ain't slowing down, baby. Come and show me how. Gotta do it right now. You know you gotta hold me down. Can I let the moment pass? Good things they never last. Pull up in a whip, you know I had to hit the gas. Yeah, that's premium. Pull up with a team and them ain't worried about the other side. They know that they ain't beating them on everything I love. Work to the man above. Keep it cool, calm, collected. At this point, you get the message. Life is hectic, but we gotta keep it rolling, no. Gotta keep it moving like we stole it, though. Rolling with the punches, giving hits like we are in a scope. Even though I'm Clacton punching in, I'm independent, though. Staying prayed up, ain't nothing gon' phase us. Ain't never gon' let a lame say what they just made up. I never take a pay cut, we getting what we worth in. I never change the blueprint, cause we know it's really working. Keep on moving, we keep on moving along. Keep it moving, keep it rolling. No, we ain't slowing it down. Never slowing down, never moving. We keep on moving along. Keep it moving, keep it rolling. No, we ain't slowing it down. Never gonna lose it, cause we in it for the movement. If I'm lying, then I'm flying. Don't play into their amusement. If we trying, we ain't dying. Never sleep, never sleep, never. The moment that you rest your head, they think they can't compete. If you gotta skip steps, then the plan is not complete. Get your reps in, get your reps in, get your. Never rest on a past success. You gotta love what you do if you tryna be the best. Keep on moving, we keep on moving along. Keep it moving, keep it rolling. No, we ain't slowing it down. Never slowing down, never moving. We keep on moving along. Keep it moving, keep it rolling. Keep it rolling, keep it moving. We ain't never gonna lose it.
Who's been to Epstein Island, mate?
Everyone!
Oh, yes, everyone's been there. I haven't. Oh, God, that's a good start, isn't it? Oh, my life already. Two Shies here, everybody. Oh, I forgot to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whatever you're doing in the world. Hello. And hello to Gun. Oh, Gun is here, everybody. Too many laughs. How you doing, Gun? You're here tonight. You missed it yesterday, didn't you, apparently? I saw your comment, young man. Thank you for the comment. That's about one of my only live streams that's ever had a comment after the live stream is finished. And the beautiful, wonderful, marvellous, and probably hot and very sweaty, like the most of us today, Beth Gish is here. Yes, you can see it's one of them where I'm going to be in a pool of sweat by the end of this. If there's a humming in the background, that is a fan. My biggest fan. Yes, my biggest fan. Too many laughs? And so I hope you've had a good day. I hope everything's well in your world and the craziness continues. Oh, yeah. Of course it does. It never stops. And for those of you that might have seen yesterday that I had an email from a potential luxury client that has got a company that's worth millions and millions. Anyway, replied to them today, just only today, earlier on, and haven't heard anything. But I'm off to London tomorrow. It's not to meet them, unfortunately. Oh no, I wish it was. I wish it was to meet them and sort out some monster deal. Do you know what I mean? That'd be fabulous, wouldn't it, eh? That'd be awesome. But no, unfortunately not at the moment, but we'll see how that goes. But no, it's work-related. I'm off to London tomorrow, so I'll try not to get lost or killed when you're down there. Do you know what I mean? I'll be sure to keep my eyes peeled everywhere that I go. But that should be interesting. That is if the heat hasn't destroyed all the trains. Because this, after all, is the UK, where you only need 3 or 4 minutes of different sort of weather and everything goes to a standstill. But I digress. So what are we talking about today? Well, as you saw yesterday, and I'm sure you're aware, unless you've been living in a cave, Nigel Farage has called. He's resigned, and then so they're calling a one of them things, one of them. Yeah, oh God, what are they call? It's too hot. It's just hot, man. A by-election. That's what it is. It's a by-election. So he's calling it a by-election, and he's going to stand in the by-election. Now, I've looked into that a little bit more since yesterday. And it tops up that maybe the reason he's doing it is because there's his investigation going on, because he's an MP. And some are speculating because he's resigned as an MP, that investigation into that money will stop. So it's either a cunning ploy on his part that it will stop, or some of us are speculating that it doesn't make any difference because it's still going to go through. And even if there is a by-election and he becomes an MP again, which is probably going to be the case, because apparently nobody's going to stand against him. Anyway, almost nobody. We'll get into that in a minute. So he's going to be doing the by-election, and maybe they can still pursue what they're doing. I don't know how it all works. The machine of politics and Westminster is very alien to me, just like we're all alien to them. But anyway, so what's the first story, Gaz? I hear you not shout. Well, this is the first one. Let's have a look. So we've got Bin It to Win It. Who, the Sun, you got to love it, ain't you, really? Freddie Starr, remember the Freddie Starr ate my hamster and all that sort of thing? Unbelievable. So, Bin It to Win It. Who is Count Binface? And what is his real name? Meet Nigel Farage's opponent in the Clacton by-election. Well, I like this Binface. I absolutely do like this Binface. I think it is hilarious. The guy, there's a lot more about him on here, which I'm sort of sad about, really. I know, because I didn't want to know who he was. I just like him as Binface. It's like Batman. You don't want to know who Batman is, do you? Well, you sort of do, but do you know what I mean? It sort of spoils it a bit, don't it? You know, when you get one of these, it's like when they used to have the old wrestlers. You remember something Nagasaki? There was back in the day when they used to do the wrestling on the World of Sport. I'm showing my age now. They used to have Kendo Nagasaki. That was his name. What an impression he must have made, because I can't remember anything, me. And so Kendo Nagasaki used to come on with a mask. And I would never have wanted to know who Kendo Nagasaki was. Kendo Nagasaki. What? That's great. And it rolls off the tongue, don't it? Kendo Nagasaki. I don't know how I remember that. It made an impression when I was young, obviously, being a little violent thug that I was. But yeah, the mystique about the mask was everything about Kendo Nagasaki back in the day. It was fabulous. But anyway, they're actually. Gun says, I'm Batman. Well, Gun, the thing is, are you though? Now, I don't know if you used to watch me in the darker alleyways of the internet when I used to stream, but I used to have, because I've actually got a replica of the Dark Knight Batman outfit. Believe it or not, it's true. No, it's true, I really have. Yeah, lads. Yeah, seriously, I've got one. And it was used in Americano Land on the premiere. They had a guy dressed up in it, and he walked about during the entrance of the premiere when all the stars and that were arriving. Anyway, I ended up back in the day when I was living and working in Spain, had an extra few quid and watched that film and saw that come up in an auction, and I thought, I'm having that. It's just there, actually. You can't see it, but it's there. It's actually there on a mannequin over there. So, I used to have it behind me in my streams back in the day. So, are you really the Batman? Well, you could be the Batman if you bought my Batman outfit. You could be, but it's very, very expensive. I got to tell you. But anyway, that's the child in me. You know what I mean? I had too much money, obviously, at the time, didn't I? Not anymore. Not anymore. Oh no! It's all wrong, isn't it? It's all wrong. Anyway, so let's get into this, shall we? Let's get into this. God, it's the heat. I'm all right. Clacton is bracing itself for a wild political showdown as Reform UK leader Nigel Farage goes head-to-head with a space alien. Binface. He's getting really... I don't know how famous he's becoming. I was only become aware of this Binface when I saw him on from the other by-election that was Makerfield. And I did a stream, I don't know if you saw it, and I was going through the candidates, and he was there, and I was like, yes. Now I don't vote, right? But I would vote for Binface. I think there should be a national campaign to get Binface as a politician, because that clown show really needs a super clown. And that is what a mockery Binface would make of. I don't think they'd let him in. I don't think they'd actually let him in. I'd have to look into that. I'll have to look at. Should we get the AI assistant in here for this? Because actually, I think this is quite important. Let's do that. Let's get Nexus in, shall we? So what we'll do, we'll get Nexus up, right? Let's wake up Nexus, shall we, and see what Nexus has to say. Because I am fascinated to know if this could actually be a thing. Right, so for those of you that don't know, this is going to be Nexus, my AI co-host when needed, and you'll see why. So let's get into Nexus. Let's wake him up. Hello, Nexus. Are you there?
I'm right here, Gaz. What's up? Need a hand with something? Or are we just having a chat?
Oh, no, I'm doing a live stream at the moment. So you've got Too Shy, you've got Beth Gish, and you've got Gun Get Stuffed 1984. If you could say hello to those, and Beth Gish, if you could say hello to those people for me.
Of course. Hey, Too Shy, Beth Gish, and Gun Get Stuffed 1984. Gaz and I are glad to have you here. Hope you're all ready for a good time on the stream.
Yeah, so I've got a quick question. So have you ever heard of this? He stands in local by-elections in the UK, and he goes by the pseudonym of Binface.
Oh, Count Binface. Oh, absolutely. Count Binface is this satirical character. He wears a bin or trash can on his head, and he's run in a bunch of UK elections for fun. He's basically a comedic candidate poking fun at politics.
Now, I really like the cut of his jib, and personally, Nexus, I don't vote, right? Because personally, I feel it's a waste of time. But if I could vote for Binface, I think I would actually get involved and vote for him. Now, my question is, right, if Binface was to actually win a by-election, would he be able to enter the Houses of Parliament dressed as Binface?
So, while the idea is amusing, there are rules and traditions in Parliament, like a dress code. If Count Binface were ever elected, he would have to leave the bin helmet behind and dress in a manner consistent with parliamentary decorum. The character might not make it inside, but the person behind the bin would still have their seat.
Oh, that's a shame. I was really looking forward to the spectacle of Binface entering Parliament dressed as a Binface, because that would just put the cherry on the clown cake that, in my opinion, is the UK Parliament. Anyway, sadly, as you've said, no, that wouldn't be able to happen. So I probably wouldn't vote anyway then, you know what I mean? But anyway, Marie Walker is here, everybody.
Hey, Marie Walker. Welcome to the party. You know, Gaz, even if Binface can't wear the bin inside Parliament, the fact we even have candidates like that shows the fun side of democracy. But hey, let's have a laugh with everyone here.
Excellent. Yes, well, thank you very much, Nexus, for your input there, and I'll see you later on the next one. Do you want to say goodbye to everybody?
I'd love to. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for joining Gaz and me today. Always a pleasure. Until next time, take care.
Well, there you go. That is the legend. That is the Nexus AI. I mean, how fast the world is changing with all this AI stuff. It's incredibly fast. Incredibly fast. More of that on another day, on another stream, I guess, to be fair. But so let's go back to Count. Let's go back to Count Binface, shall we? So where were we? Farage quit as an MP in an attempt to force a people versus the establishment by-election while facing a parliamentary standards investigation into an undeclared £5 million financial gift. Very suspicious. Count Binface. All right, let's Count Binface. Legendary stuff. Legendary stuff. Labour, the Conservatives, the Liberal Democrats and the Greens have all refused to stand in the by-election, leaving intergalactic space warrior Count Binface the next best thing to a genuine political contender. Hilarious. Nazulium is here, everybody. Yeah, it was just so funny. What is Count Binface's real name? Now, this is a bit... Why have they done this? While the character claims to be a recyclon from the planet Sigma 6 or 7, what's 1 and an X? Oh, I don't know me Roman numerals. And a fan of the classic TV show Lovejoy. I used to love Lovejoy. I really like the actor who plays Lovejoy. He's really good. The man sweating inside the suit is very much a human from Earth. His real name is Jonathan David Harvey, a 50-something British comedian, satirical writer and producer. He has a comedy degree under his belt, having worked on TV hits like The Thick of It and Have I Got News for You. Very interesting. But when election season calls, John ditches the writer's desk, straps on a giant metal bin and transforms into a political protest candidate. I wish I'd have thought of it. But what a waste of money, though. Got to have a few quid to waste, don't you, on this sort of thing. Even Restore Britain, led by Farage's ex-reform wingman turned bitter rival Rupert Lowe, is sitting this one out. Prime Minister Keir Starmer, we all know that man.
Return of the sausages.
Oh yeah, the sausage man. Called Farage's resignation a desperate stunt and a circus, while Tory leader Kemi Beckennock labelled it as a fake election. It's fake. Well, it's all fake, isn't it? They're all faking it, aren't they? The major parties have decided a boycott is the best way to deny Farage media attention while questions swirl over undeclared cash from crypto billionaire Christopher Harborne. In their place, Count Binface has declared himself a unity candidate, and he said, leave him to me. Imagine if he won. Oh, Jim, it's just too funny. With no traditional candidates on the ballot, anti-Farage votes are expected to back Binface. So there's going to be... Oh, it's going to be too funny. That means he could comfortably break his previous voting records and clear the £500 deposit needed to stand in a parliamentary by-election. This must be brilliant for his PR. It's brilliant, isn't it? It's got to be great for him. William Hill has slashed Count Binface's odds to 9-2, second favourite, giving him an 18% implied chance of victory. That means he could be on track to beat other fringe runners like the Monster Raving Loony Party and the Rejoin the EU Party at the Clacton polls. Binface's most memorable election moments. This is far from Binface's first time at a vote. And the Space Warrior is a seasoned election veteran who loves winding up political heavyweights. Before he became Count Binface, Harvey stood against Theresa May in Maidenhead during the 2017 general election under his previous alter ego, Lord Buckethead. I didn't know he had another one, Lord Buckethead. That's quite interesting. The iconic image of a giant bucket-headed alien standing next to the stone-faced Prime Minister went viral globally. I didn't know any of this. Following a copyright dispute over the Buckethead name, Binface was born. He famously challenged Boris Johnson in 2019 and went toe-to-toe with Rishi Sunak in 2024. Where did I weren't paying attention, obviously, to this, because it's just, I don't get it, you know, it's all, they do what they want. They're all controlled opposition. They're all controlled in when they're in government. They're all making millions, do you know what I mean? They don't really care. They just do what they're told. They're all given their scripts. They read their stuff. You know how I feel about all this. He has also targeted City Hall, running for Mayor of London twice. In 2021, he beat far-right candidate Lawrence Fox to officially become voters' ninth choice to run the capital. Oh, too many laughs. Actually, it is too many laughs. Well, good luck to Binface. I'll Count Binface as his real name, isn't it? You know, his proper term. I hope he really does do well. I really do. I really do. I hope he gets his 500 quid back, especially. You know what I mean? Because it's got to be worth that for entertainment value. But yeah, so that's Farage. I mean, who knows? So I don't know. I still think it's a genius move. Well, for whatever reason he's doing it, I still think it's a clever move to do, actually. I didn't see that coming at all. But I don't know. I don't know if it's all part of their script. I don't know. How would I know? But anyway, the next one is a bit more concerning. It's a bit more serious, to be fair. But let's have a look at this next one. NATO allies announce £37 billion for new missile project. Oh, here we go. Here we go. So, what do we got? 12 countries, including the UK, are set to spend more than £37 billion, $50 billion, over the next 10 years on a new long-range missile to protect Europe. So they're going to be... So who are they protecting it against, do you think? You know, is it the Russians by any chance?
The Führer couldn't have said it better himself.
Cheers, mate. You know what I mean? Is it the Russians? It probably is the Russians, you know. They're probably concerned. Because the Russians have the hypersonic missile, which nobody else has got. As far as I'm aware, nobody else has got these hypersonic missiles that can't be intercepted. Right? And so what are they trying to do then? Are they trying to catch up then with Moscow and Russia to create a hypersonic missile? Is that the aim? Now, how does this... I mean, I'm reading a book at the moment. Right? And it's about the far-right Austrian painter. Yeah, that fella. It's all about him, and it's quite fascinating. It's the road that leads to the war, right? And it's done by, I can't remember the author. The book's over there. I can't remember the author, but it's good. And he was, mate, the way he went about planning to attack different countries, it's a very good book. But you can sort of see the build-up. Do you know what I mean? Now, if you were Russia, I mean, I don't know how these people think. I don't know how they act. I don't know how they do anything. But if you was Russia, if you was in charge of Russia, and you started seeing this colossal build, especially with what's going on with the Ukraine and now NATO and the West and Americano and funding all this money to the Ukraine, and you know, just to make it real, and now they're getting into Russia, blowing up stuff, and Russia's really hitting back now hard, and at any minute could declare war on proper full out war on the Ukraine. Like a proper, they say they did a full military invasion. That ain't a full, what they've done before, that's not, in my opinion, that isn't a Russian full in military invasion. If Russia declare war officially into the Ukraine, then you're going to see, potentially, if the media will allow it, which I doubt, and the government, I suppose, will be censored, like RT.com is censored in this country, and they don't want, and they're trying to take over the algorithm on YouTube, although I already suspect that they're all in bed together anyway. Sorry, YouTube, but I do believe that. If not YouTube, send my videos viral. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, YouTube. Come on. There's a little challenge for you. So what do you think Putin's going to do? What would you do? Would you sort of go, if I wait and let these people that are obviously determined to attack Russia at some point, yeah, just like Uncle Adolf did, they knew he was building up. They knew he was, but they didn't do anything to stop it. Defy Tyrants is here, everybody. They couldn't stop Uncle Adolf, could they? Once he got so far. Because he was planning years ahead. Do you know what I mean? And this book's fascinating. How he knows. They talk about how they don't want to get certain other countries like France or Great Britain because he wanted to. Anyway, that's a whole different story. But so, what do you think the Russians are going to do? They're going to wait for Europe to build up a proper load of weaponry that can really, really impact them, or do you think it might kick off before that? I mean, I don't know what you think. I know what I think. Anyway, let's get into it. The Deep Precision Strike Project. The Deep Precision Strike Project. Says it all. They're not even trying to hide anything. Anyway, what's Defy Tyrant's got to say? Got to watch out for those pesky Russians, Gaz. I went outside to check my mail and I broke my ankle. Tripped over a dozen Russians. Immense case. The Deep Precision Strike Project has just been unveiled by Number 10 and is due to be discussed later on Wednesday at the NATO summit in the Turkish capital, Ankara.
The return of the sausages.
Sir Keir Starmer is there for his final NATO summit as Prime Minister. He is likely to face some criticism from US President Donald Trump for failing to set out a plan for reaching 3.5% of GDP spent on defence by 2035, a target agreed by nearly all NATO members last year. A fly. But on Wednesday, the Prime Minister will convene around a dozen leaders to discuss the new missile programme. What do you think the likes of Russia or China, what do you think they're going to be thinking when they're seeing this? I know what I'd be thinking. Billed as one of NATO's most advanced weapons, it is intended to strike targets nearly 200 miles, 300 kilometres away with pinpoint accuracy, possibly extending out to 1,250 miles. Sir Keir said the UK-led initiative would help bring European allies together to keep NATO safe for years to come. Foreign Secretary Yvette Cooper, said the plan was part of a recognition that we're in a more dangerous world. Well, you're making it more dangerous. You're escalating it anyway. You're sending the signals. The Deep Precision Strike Project. Who are they going to try and deep precisionally strike, do you think? This is about how we make sure we have a stronger Europe within a stronger NATO, she told BBC Breakfast from Ankara. But like many planned military projects in the pipeline, Deep Strike is not expected to be ready until the 2030s. Well, I think it'll, me personally, on my top of my bingo card, I think it'll be done by then. I think we'll be in a much different situation by then. Well before then. Me personally. But like many military shush. In June, US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth announced a 6-month review of the presence of US forces in Europe. Trump has repeatedly made clear he wants NATO members to contribute more to defence spending in Europe, and at last year's NATO summit, members of the alliance agreed to spend 5% of GDP on defence and security by 2035. Sir Keir said he was determined to ensure the safety of the UK, and if he's determined to keep the safety of the UK, how have we got all these illegal immigrants in here? Why is that happening? Why are we still getting boatloads of people just rocking up on our shores and wandering in and we don't know who they are? Just saying. How come that is like, how comes they can just wander in? Yeah, exactly. How can they just wander in and then we spend all this money housing them, feeding them, clothing them, all of it. And it's just on and on and on. How is that protecting the country? What if we try to spend the money we're going to spend on this, sorting our borders out and getting rid of these people that shouldn't legally be here? Anyway, that makes you racist. You're racist. No, I'm not. I don't care anyway. I don't care. Say what you want. I don't care. I'm not interested in what you have to say about that. I don't agree with it. It's determined to ensure the safety of the UK and its allies, adding, we must step up to deliver a stronger, more European NATO. The UK government has already committed 300 billion by 2030 in the Defence Investment Plan. 300 billion! Have you any idea what that amount of money would look like in £50 notes? You'd need an industrial estate. More. You'd have pallets and pallets of it. Where is all this money? Where is all this money coming from? Oh, yeah, from us. Oh, yeah, of course it is. At the summit, Sakir is expected to underline the threat posed by Russia to the UK and NATO. The government said NATO has scrambled fighter jets to intercept Russian aircraft approaching Allied airspace more than 700 times, and that Russian military activity around the UK waters has surged 30%. So Gunn says Putin ain't started yet. I agree. And Defy Tyrants, the millions of foreigners that your country allowed in will be your enemy if a major war breaks out. I would have thought so. I think partly, me personally, I think that's why a lot of them are here. They're all going to... I think, I can't say this is true, but my thing is, right, when I used to be a bouncer years ago, when I was younger, I was a bouncer for years. I did bouncing, nightclubs, pubs, I've done close protection, I've done all sorts. And one of the things, when they brought in the legislation, you didn't need to be licensed then, although I did do training for it. And I did go on specialist bodyguard training and stuff like that at my own expense. And when they brought legislation in that you had to have a government SIA, a license by the government, I mean, I got out of it then. I was like, I can't be asked for all that. I'm not getting involved in it. You know what I mean? They're going to tax you and you're going to get less money. And one of the things that people were talking about at the time was what they're going to do is they're going to use doormen, right, or security personnel like these guys with the SIA, which we're clearly seeing, as an arm of the like the police, if you like. So a lot of these people that are coming here, they're actually getting trained as SIA, and I do believe a lot of them will then eventually be trained as the police. Then what? Then what happens? When you've got, and they use the SIA people, like for example, during the COVID, I was in Newcastle, went to a protest in Newcastle, and me and my mate Prosky, we walked down the main street, big street down in Newcastle, and they had two ways. On the right hand side you could go down, and on the left hand side you came up, right? And they had bouncers, security bouncers, personnel, SIA trained with their stuff down the middle so far to make sure everybody kept to the sides that they were supposed to be on. And that's what they're doing. That's what they do. They'll use these security personnel as an extension of their authority because these people have to go through government training. And the only people that can employ these like if I wanted to set up a security company, I would have to get license from the government. So I'm going to have to jump through all their hoops and meet their criteria of a certain kind of person to be able to then recruit SIA and provide security personnel. See how it all locks in? They're just sewing it up, mate. They're sewing it up. I can see it as plain as day, me. I can see it coming down the road, and it's not going to be good for the average person, I don't think. Anyway, where are we? Sakir is expected to stress that whilst NATO did not seek confrontation with Russia, it must be ready to defend every ally. How are you going to defend against nuclear? Because that's what we're talking about here. I mean, a lot of people say that the nuclear thing doesn't exist. Now, I don't know. But I know there's some pretty nasty things out there. Defy Tyrant says, damn shame, the government is our enemy, the police are our enemy, the illegal invaders are our enemy, and they are doing their best to disarm us. Well, in Americano land, you've still got the right to bear arms, haven't you? Over here, you can't do nothing. You can't do nothing over there. We'll get into it in a minute. Some lads just been nicked for that stuff. We'll get into that if I got time, if I manage to stop going off track and just enjoy myself, because that's what I'm doing. But anyway, Cooper said, with deep precision strike capability, the UK and our allies will be able to hit high-value military targets and the logistical engines that drive armies, deterring any aggressor and strengthening our mutual security. It's just now it's an arms race. So what happens in like with where Uncle Adolf, the Austrian painter, when they built up their arms, because they were building up their arms because they were getting ready to go to war, and he knew years in advance what he was going to do. In this book, and there's documents, the guy who's wrote this book is very, I can't remember his name. Anyway, I'll probably try and remember tomorrow. Who have we got here? K Walsh 19, is it? K Walsh 1962 is here, everybody. Yes. K Walsh, good to see you. I hope you have followed, and I hope some of you do the thumbs up thing, but I don't remember seeing your name here before, but welcome. You're very welcome to the lunatic GAZ X's Madhouse stream, and it's good to see you. What does K Walsh have to say? When the Russians decide to start the engine, it will be quite clear when the Russians flags flying in the capital of Ukraine as history repeats. Yes, and nice little exclamation marks on that as well. That stood out, I'll tell you. But good to see you. Nice one. I hope you have subscribed, or I like to call it follow. It should be a follow button, because you ain't got to pay anything. It's not subscribing, is it? You're just following. But it's good to see you. Thank you for being here. And thank you for your input. That's very good. And more, all of you, more input. I'll read it. Come on. Let's get into it. You know what I mean? Yeah, so they're basically... So if you start building... Right, so they're talking about precision missiles, and they're actually mentioning Russia, right, that we can bomb. What do they think? I mean, just for a minute, right, who in their right mind thinks that the Russians are going to just give up Russia? How does that work? Where does the thinking come from where somebody's going to think, well, if we build up loads of weaponry, right, it'll put the Russians off. I mean, I don't personally think the Russians wanted to come and invade Europe. I think they'd have done it ages ago if that would have been the case. I don't think they could have on the Second World War. You know what I mean? When that was all done, they could have pushed forward more. They could have demanded more. They did. They lost millions of people during that conflict. I'm sure they could have gone for more if they would have wanted it. But there you go. But so I don't think there's any sanity in these people that think that Russia's just going to lay down and go, yeah, we surrender, or like it's like when they were saying, oh yeah, at the beginning of all this stuff with the Ukraine on the special military operation, and they were all these politicians and all these pundits were saying, yeah, we'll be defeated. I was like, are you mad? Are you absolutely insane? I mean, look at the Americanos. Classic example. Americanos and the Israelis, right? Illegal attack onto Iran. What's Iran? Where's Iran now? Stronger than ever. Right? Stronger than ever. Got capabilities that they didn't even realise they had. Destroyed loads of American bases. Hit their ships. Took down aircraft. These people, what do they think that do they just think? I don't know what they think. But I know it's not good for us in the long run. It's just crazy, man. Ukrainian president, hang on. At Ankara, we are sending a clear message to Russian President Vladimir Putin. NATO is stronger, more European, and ready to defend our citizens against the long-term threat posed by him and the Russian state. This is Yvette Cooper. Yvette Cooper. For fuck's... We are so fucked. Ukraine President Vladimir Zelensky used a speech at the summit on Tuesday to urge Ukrainian allies to deliver their air defence systems it urgently needs to protect it from escalating Russian attacks. You ain't seen the half of it, mate. You keep bombing them inside Russia. You keep doing it in their infrastructure and their fuel refineries. You keep doing it, mate. And Ukraine could never do this without assistance from the West and NATO. Could never do it. I actually do believe we're in World War III right now, personally. I just think it's being fought very differently. Ukraine has been stepping up its own long-range drone and missile attacks against Russia, hitting oil refineries and military targets, and they are causing, and innocent people, by the way, causing significant fuel shortages and power cuts. Ukraine's armed forces have proved that the effective use of long-range systems can have a game-changing impact on the battlefield, only until the Russians say enough is enough. That's enough now. Now we're just going to have you. Until that point, until such a point when the Russians just go, I've had enough now. That's it. Right, game over. Right, if you're carrying on like this, let's carry on proper. Now have some of this. Boom. Crazy. What do you think? Am I wrong? Am I right? Am I wrong? I don't know. What do you think? Ukraine long-range strikes, such as those on key logistic hubs, have significantly impacted Russia's ability to sustain their offences. I don't believe that for a minute. I mean, the last I looked, there's a lot of chaos over there in Ukraine now. A lot. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said on Tuesday that Russia, which invaded Ukraine in 2022, would closely monitor the summit in Ankara. They're closely monitoring it. You know, this fucking. He said that the new weapons Kiev would get from NATO could prevent Russia from pressing on with its military operation in Ukraine until its objectives were achieved. He said that no. Sorry, I got that wrong. He said that no new weapons Kiev would get from NATO could prevent Russia from pressing on with its military operation in Ukraine until its objectives were achieved. In the context of preparations for this summit, we heard a great many statements concerning our country, Peskov told reporters. To our regret, these were not statements about constructive engagement and dialogue, but rather statements of confrontational nature. Settlement of this conflict through political and diplomatic means remains preferable for Russia, Peskov added. Well, they don't want that, though, do they? The West just don't want that. They want, for whatever the reasons. Defy tyrants, in my opinion, this is nothing but the 2030 agenda. All the governments, countries of the world are in cahoots to take total control over the world's population. The wars just further that agenda. Totally agree. Is it all staged? Are they all in on it? I don't know. But the COVID rather, opened out a lot of our eyes to a lot of stuff, didn't it? It really did. God, I am waffling on. I've got loads to talk about as well. Okay, so we're still on the war footing here. Why wouldn't we be? Trump says interim accord with Iran to end war is over. Okay, so now we got them. They're kicking it all back off again. As we can see, Trump's in NATO, gone to NATO. I don't know what's been said here. Is it worth having a quick look? Oh, go on, I might as well. So let's pause that. Let's rewind that, and we'll have a quick listen to what he has to say. Let's go for it. Okay, let's put the volume on. That'll help.
You want to know the truth? They're scum. And so we don't like them. I don't like them. And they're evil people, and it's the denuclearization of Iran. And we're going to denuke it. We're not going to let them because they're crazy, and they can't have a nuclear weapon. They're sick. There's something wrong with them. We said, go and do your funeral stuff. And instead of that, they start shooting rockets at ships yesterday. And so we hit them very hard last night, very hard. They launched a couple of drones and one rocket, one missile, and at ships, because they were in the strait, which they have every right to be. And so we hit them very hard last night, very, very hard. Probably hit them hard again tonight. I'll give them a little warning, we're going to hit them hard tonight. Look, we're not attacking at the highest level. The highest level are the bridges, they're, which we can knock down. I would say in one day we knock down every single bridge in Iran. There's not a thing they can do about it. They're electric manufacturing facilities, right? They're electric plants where they make their electricity, and they're we will, if we have to, we'll take them out. I don't want to do that, but if we have to, we'll take them out. And there may be a big attack tonight, and it'll knock out a lot of stuff. We don't knock out nothing. We knock out a...
Well, there you go. So, if you can believe any of that, all right, well, yeah, they might have been doing what they're saying they're doing, but to what end? You know what I mean? So, before they Israel and the Americanos illegally attacked Iran, right, didn't they say they'd already took out their nuclear stuff? Hadn't they already done that? Didn't they say that? Didn't they say they'd already took it all out?
What?
Yeah. Apparently they said that they already took it out. And now this is about their nuclear thing. But when the Ayatollah was there, before they killed him, the first one, it was part of their thing. They will not make nuclear weapons. They just wouldn't do it. You tell me what's going on. But if the Americanos could have took out Iran by now, they'd have done it. And if they start striking Iran has already said they will start attacking every allied country around them, and they will turn it all back into a desert. So that's, again, it's fucking mental. How many times has Trump said it's over, they've won? How many times has he said all that? Do you know what I mean? It's crackers. So what have we got here? Oh yeah, by the way, defy tyrants. No, don't worry about chops in. I like the comments. I like you to be commenting. I like it. It's perfect. This is what it's a live stream. For engagement. I want the engagement with you lot. I want to know which way to drive this little channel of ours. And it is of ours. It's not just me. It's of ours. It's our little community on here. You know what I mean? It says, Defy Tyrant says, Trump tore the agreement up that prevented Iran from getting nukes. Trump is lying POS. He's the evil one. Well, all I can say is, who's in the Epstein files, mate?
Everyone!
Oh, yes. Everyone. Didn't he turn around? Didn't they say they were going to release all these Epstein files? Remember that? And that guy with the boss eyes, you know what I mean? Is he American Asian? Is that what you call him? I don't know what you call him. But he's like the head of the FBI now. Before he was the head of the FBI, he said, yeah, he's going to get down to all of it. He's going to get to them. And then once he's in there, nothing. Same old story. But they're all in there, all of them. And Trump done a 360 on everything. Didn't Trump get elected on, like, we don't need no more wars. I'm not going to go and do these endless wars. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do the rest of it. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to bring down the deficit. There's going to be more money. It's going to be better. And where are they now? Where are they now? All lies. All lies.
All lies. All lies. It's all lies. All lies. Everything is a lie. All lies. All lies. Nothing is true.
Yes, absolutely right. The interim ceasefire agreement signed between Washington and Tehran under the mediation of Pakistan was intended to provide a 60-day window for negotiations on a permanent agreement, but indirect talks in Qatar ended with no sign of headway, and the US military unleashed a new wave of strikes against Iran on Tuesday. To me, I think it's over. I don't want to deal with them, Trump said ahead of a NATO summit in the Turkish capital, Ankara. They're scum. They're sick people. What sort of... How is this diplomatic? I mean, what are these... What are these people? How did you think... That's a whole nation. A quite capable nation, as it goes. A historic nation. Fucking hell. Talking to him like that, it's just horrendous. He added alongside NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, as far as I'm concerned, it's just a waste of time dealing with them. The US on Tuesday also revoked a license allowing Iran to sell oil after 3 tankers were hit by projectiles in the Strait of Hormuz. Under the interim US-Iran, the US Treasury issued a to allow the sale of crude oil and pharmaceutical and petroleum products of Iranian origin throughout August the 21st. In revoking that license on Tuesday, it gave Iran until July the 17th to wind down any transactions. So, yeah, so Trump's kicked it all back off over there then. Yeah, of course he has. But he's got no control over it anyway, to be fair. Do you know what I mean? What are they going to do? They can't do a ground invasion. Won't happen. I don't know where this all goes. I just don't. And then we get this. This is a bit weird. This is very weird, actually. I was surprised to read this today because, you know, they go on about the neo-Nazis. Yeah, them lot. They go on about them, don't they, in the UK? And I'm like, sort of, and the far right. The far right. And I always look around going, well, where are these people? Well, I don't really see it. Maybe it's just I don't get out very much, right? But then apparently there's this. Neo-Nazi jailed for over 13 years for planning mass gun attack after being snared by MI5. Oh, dearie, dearie, dearie me, what could the matter be? Let's have a look, shall we? A neo-Nazi has been jailed for more than 13 years with a future 5 years of extended licence for planning a mass gun attack after being snared by MI5. Alfie Coleman, 22. Alfie, what was you fucking thinking about? From Great Knightly in Essex, was found guilty of preparing for terrorist acts following an Old Bailey retrial. Previously, the court heard how Coleman was age 14 when he first began to scrounge for extremist material online, including neo-Nazi content on his iPad. The convict, who used to work part-time at Tesco, whipped up a hate list, including his colleagues and customers. Fucking did he? Okay, sounds like he's a bit mental to me. In it, he described the individuals with racial slurs, or he dubbed them race traitors. The court heard the 22-year-old also created a manifesto linked to a series of potential targets, such as a mosque and the Lord Mayor of London. But undercover MI5 officers put an end to his plot in a sting operation that after they engaged with him in an encrypted chat while he was trying to buy weapons. He was on Telegram. How did he get? Oh, what, mate? What was you? What was you actually? Oh God, it's got to be mental. Officials first became aware of the individual in the summer of 2023 when the Essex man upped his activity among online extreme right-wing groups. There he is. It's got the old death's head in the background. Coleman, who was 19 at the time, set up plans to buy a Makarov pistol, 5 magazines, as well as 200 rounds of ammunition in an East End London Morrison's car park back in September 2023. Footage shown to the court captured the teenager dropping off £3,500 in a Land Rover Discovery. He can then be seen holding a holdall which contained a handgun and ammunition. The extremist was then halted by armed counter-terror police officers who forced Coleman to the floor. A subsequent search of the property where he lived with his parents and a sibling revealed the extent up to which Coleman admired right-wing extremists. The investigation also unveiled that he idolised Thomas Mayer. I have no idea who that is. Oh, who is the far-right extremist who murdered Labour MP Joe Cox just over 10 years ago. There's a very, if you're into this sort of stuff, there's a guy called Rich, I can't remember his full name, but he's got a website called Rich Planet. And he does he's an investigative journalist. He's been shut down quite a lot now because of some of the stuff that, you know, he's been out there. It was the Manchester Arena stuff. And he did a documentary because he questions it all, right? And he really gets into it and he gets evidence and everything, right? But anyway, he got in a lot of trouble and he was on telly and the BBC chased him and everything. Richard D. Hall. It's called Rich Planet. Go to, I think, yeah, if you search on Google, like Rich Planet, Richard D. Hall, you'll come across his website. And on there, he actually done, and it's fascinating, honestly. He did a thing on who was she called? On the Joe Cox. when she was murdered. He does a whole thing on it. It's fascinating. It's fascinating, mate, I tell ya.
What?
Yeah, fascinating, honestly. It really is. It's awesome. Anyway, officers discovered 2,500 in savings, as well as a device able to detect bugs and secret cameras in his bedside cupboard. They also found a rock with a swatch sticker, a black sun flag, which is linked to neo-Nazi groups, as well as literature on right-wing extremism. As he gave evidence, the extremists complained about loneliness and ongoing issues with mental health as a result of the COVID-19 lockdowns from 2020 until 2022. Coleman had admitted an attempt to possess both a firearm and ammunition. However, he denied he was preparing for a terrorist attack. What was you going to do with it, mate? Why don't you just buy a BB gun or a water pistol or a potato gun? Get this, have a little potato gun. You know what I mean? That's all you're allowed in this country. You'd probably get shot. If you went out in the street as a kid now with a potato gun, you'd probably get the armed response turn up and shoot you. That's where we are. Unless you're not of my persuasion, of course. Unless you're of another persuasion, and then they'll be like, "Calm down, mate. You're all right. Settle down." I don't think so, mate. I don't think so, mate. As he gave evidence, the extremists... Oh, yeah. Coleman had admitted and... Yeah. Shush. Before court, he pleaded guilty to possessing 10 documents with information likely to be useful for terrorists. Such text included literature on weaponry and instructions on how to make a bomb. For fuck. Why would you have that? Mate, you mental. You mentalist, mate. Anyway, he's not going to see the light of day for a little while, is he? He's gone. Him gone. How long have we got? Right, which one should we go for? Oh, right, we've done that one. Good. Yeah, we've got one more. Well, we've got two more. I don't know if I'll be able to get to the last one. Andrea is here, everybody. Richard Hall, Andrea says. The guy didn't kill her, says Andrea. Have you seen it? Have you seen the documentary, Andrea? Actually, Andrea should change her name to the Teddy Slut, because that is her real name in the deep, dark world of the internet. She should actually come back into she should bring her dark self, her drunken dark self, I might add. Yes. Anyway, what have we got next for you? Well, we've got this one. Let's have a look. Robots available for rent, but what can they do? So here comes the introduction of renting a robot. You know what I mean? This is just the beginning stages. Apparently, it's already happening in the UK, especially. In hospitals across the US. I apologise. I thought it was in America. I thought it was in the UK. In hospitals across the US, patients and staff have become accustomed to seeing a one-armed, 4-foot-high, friendly-looking white robot going about its business. Isn't that cute? Nurses have become known to greet Moxie, as the robot is called by its maker, Diligent Robotics, with a good morning, a high five, or even a hug. They're hugging a fucking robot. What? You what? You what?
What?
Yeah, I know. It's mental, isn't it? Anyway, Americans. Sorry, Defy Tyrants and anyone else who's American. You know it. Anyway, I didn't get involved. I didn't start it off. Moxie, which shuttles medical supplies around hospitals, might respond by displaying his heart-shaped LED eyes and a beep beep greeting of its own. We get a lot of feedback that Moxie feels like a part of the team. This is all getting everybody right ready for when Elon Musk suddenly says, right, we've got a robot. You can rent a robot, you can buy it or whatever. It probably will do rental, because you will earn nothing and you will be happy. Remember the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab. So, you know, there's robots anyway. So this is, I ain't going to get into it. It's there, it's a robot. You know, robots are coming. This is what's coming. There's going to be robots, and more robots. We'll get into it another day. the closer it gets. I'm sure at some point in the future we'll be talking about the actual robots as Elon Musk suddenly goes on stage, like when they released the first iPhone. What was his name? Apple guy. Anyway, him. Steve Jobs. It'll be like that. Elon Musk will be stood on the stage, and all of a sudden all these robots will they'll all light up behind him, and he'll go, yes, you can have these, and they can do everything, because you've already got them. A self-driving AI car, electric car, is actually a robot. It just doesn't look like a robot. It's just a robot on wheels. That's all it is. So it won't be long, Elon Musk, I'm confident that it won't be long, and Elon will say, right, here we go, there you go, and you can hire these. And they'll be for all sorts of, and they're not going to be little 4-foot ones that are just rolling around with love our eyes. That's just to get everybody accustomed to it. That's all it is. And then it's going to be here, and that's it. I'll leave you with this one. I saw this. I won't get into it in too much detail. Those of you that know what I'm talking about will know what I'm talking about. I won't have to explain anything. Party Rock Anthem singer Lauren Bennett dies aged 36. Well, apparently they wouldn't release how she died. They've not said that in a statement. I've already slightly read the article beforehand. And, well, yes, we're 5 years in now. And apparently these things, right, is this a died suddenly thing? You know, is this one of these? I also read a thing, but I was going to talk about it, but I won't sort of get up. I didn't put it in. Was about how the World Health Organization are worried about an explosion of cancers. I wonder why. Where can it all be coming from? People 36 years old just dropping dead. I wonder why. Why is that happening? Like I said, for those of you that are one of us, I don't need to explain that sort of caper. You're already there. Anyway, thank you for being here. That's me. Give it the thumbs up, please, if you can. That'll be much appreciated. If you're new here and you've got this far, please press the subscribe button. It'll be lovely. And anybody new who's been in the chat, it's been lovely to see you in. It's been fantastic. I love that. And if anybody that's been watching but not chatted, chat. Don't be shy, just chat. Nobody bites here. We're all friendly. We're all nice. We're all mental. We're all deranged. But you sort of have to be to live in this world. Anyway, tomorrow I'll be back at 7 o'clock UK time, and I hope to see loads of you then tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Oh yeah, I'm going to London tomorrow, and I'll try not to get lost or killed.
We keep on moving. We keep on moving along. We keep on rolling. No, we ain't slowing it down. We ain't slowing down. We keep on moving along. We keep on rolling. Yeah. No, we ain't slowing it down. Let's go. We ain't slowing down, baby. Come and show me how. Gotta do it right now. You know you gotta hold me down. Can I let the moment pass? Good things they never last. Pull up in a whip, you know I had to hit the gas. Yeah, that's premium. Pull up with a team and I ain't worried about the other side. They know that they ain't beating. I'm on everything I love. Work to the man above. Keep it cool, calm, collected. At this point, you get the message. Life is hectic, but we gotta keep it rolling, no. Gotta keep it moving, like we stole it, though. Rolling with the punches, giving hits like we are Interscope. Even though I'm clocking, punching in, I'm independent, though. Staying prayed up, ain't nothing gon' phase us. Ain't never gon' let a lame say what they just made up. I never take a pay cut, we getting what we worth in. I never change the blueprint, cause we know it's really working. Keep on moving. We keep on moving along. Keep it moving, keep it rolling. No, we ain't slowing it down. Never slowing down, never moving. We keep on moving along. Keep it moving, keep it rolling. No, we ain't slowing it down. Never gonna lose because we in it for the movement. If I'm lying, then I'm flying. Don't play into their amusement. If we trying, we ain't dying. Never sleep, never sleep, never. The moment that you rest your head, they think they can compete. If you gotta skip steps, then the plan is not complete. Get your reps in, get your reps in, get your. Never rest on a past success. You gotta love what you do if you tryna be the best. Keep on moving. We keep on moving along. Keep it moving, keep it rolling. Never slowing down, never moving. We keep on moving along. Keep it moving, keep it rolling. Keep it rolling, keep it moving. We ain't never gonna lose it.
Who's been to Epstein Island, mate?